In this video, we do an SPL test between the American-based XFL-12 and the Skar Audio VXF-12. And if you guys like to know the winner of that competition, stick around. We got that and more coming right up. After the last video, I conducted a poll asking you guys, who exactly did you guys think put up that 141.5 from the trunk? And out of 161 votes, 60% of you guys thought that the American-based XFL-12 was the winner of that competition. Well, in this video, we're gonna see if that's exactly what the results reflect. But for now, what I would like for you guys to do is to focus your attention to the right of the screen. Today's winning subscriber is Thermendaz82. Your comment stood out to me the most. Your comment exactly was, this just goes to show how well built for $180 the XFL is. You have to compare it to a subwoofer that's $270 by Skar. Of course, that would be the VXF featured here today. To get a little bit more into what it is Thermendaz is talking about right here, I like to push on to the leaderboard. Right now, what you guys are looking at is the 12-inch subwoofer leaderboard. It does consist of 4 different categories. But right now, what I want you guys to do is to focus on the $250 category. That is what Thermendaz is talking about. Hope I'm saying your name right. That subwoofer by Skar Audio is the VXF-12, and it is coming in at $270. To get more specific about it and its competitor, we're gonna be moving on to the comparison view. The American-based XFL-12 I did pick up for $180. It has a max power rating of 3,000 watts, an RMS power rating of 1,500 watts. It has a 3-inch voice coil with dual 2-ohm configuration. And as far as these stats go, besides the price point, the Skar Audio VXF is rated at the exact same max and RMS power as that of the American-based XFL-12. You guys requested this, so I did put this together. Once again, thanks to the winning subscriber, Thermendaz82. We couldn't have done it without you. All right, so a little bit more about these guys. What we're gonna be doing now is actually moving onward to the video. And what I like to do right now is just to recognize all the new guys to the channel. If you like car audio DIY builds, comparisons and competitions, please consider clicking that subscribe button so you don't miss a thing. Right now, what you guys are seeing on the screen is the VXF-12. To the right of that, you guys will see a few stats about the VXF by Skar Audio. But what I'm going to be doing now is moving onward to the SPL competition. Of course, in order to get this right, I had to find the best box positioning for this subwoofer. I'm going to be testing in 2 different enclosures. This is the previous enclosure. This is a simple bass reflex enclosure here. It's dual ported, 3 cubic foot, tuned to 32 hertz. This is the box that I actually replaced the 6-order bass reflex box with. This box here was pretty good. The video that you're seeing now actually comes from me tuning or fine-tuning my SPL competition with the new box. But I kind of wanted to just put it in here to let you guys see what I'm working with. Of course, we got some tools here by SPL Lab. This is their version 2, the version 2 of their mini bass meter. This is an SPL meter. And what I'm finna be doing now is simply trying to find out what exactly is the best tuning for this environment. The box itself is tuned in between 30 and 60 hertz. So I'm guessing, I'm sorry, the box that I'm finna be testing now is actually tuned to 35 hertz to be exact. I misspoke when I said 32 earlier. So what you want to do in a situation like this, in case you guys want to find out how all this works, you want to actually just start at a lower frequency, start at low power, and then work yourself up until you get a high reading on your bass meter. Right here at 27 hertz, you guys can see I'm barely getting anything, and I just play around with different frequencies until I get the best results on the meter, and whatever the meter peak at is going to be my peak frequency for this environment. As you guys can see, for the old box, I stuck with 37 hertz. I do have the meter on the glass. I'm sorry, I gotta mag this up. Sorry about that, guys. I'm gonna be using the Blue Snowball microphone settings 2 for this. It does have a nice graph on it where it actually clips out the distortion, so I need something like this when recording bass. So that's what I'm going to be using. The meter right now is on the glass. Once again, it's going to be at 36 hertz is the first test. I made a mistake and bumped the meter, man, and bumped it down. 37 is supposed to be my peak, but hey, we'll see what we get here on the glass. As you guys can see, I did get a 137 on the dash. 137.2, I believe that was. That's sealed up. I'm gonna let one of these windows down and see if I get a better reading than that. Let's see about it. And as you guys can see, I gained about half a dB just by letting the windows down on the dash. So it kind of shows you that, you know, different techniques can give you different results. That's why a lot of people that go into competitions, they really go through the motions of fine-tuning not only the vehicle and enclosure, but the environment as well. Right now we're going in the kick, and my apologies for the glare. That was about a 138, not too shabby. Right now we're gonna see what that looked like with the window rolled up. And we're gonna blast it right quick. And I see there that, I know you guys can't see, probably can't see because of the glare, but it was significantly lower with the glass up. So I'm gonna try the door open. These are all things that I've learned from other people to try. In the kick, door open. And that was a 137 as well, but it wasn't as high as the other one. It doesn't really like sealed or with the door open. I found that out. And there it is. I did set it back to 37 eventually, but I don't think it would have made that big of a difference. But I just wanted to get the trunk pop because I wanted to try a different position for the box. So what I'm going to be doing here is actually pulling the box closer so that I have a little bit more to load off of. Pulling it closer to the end of the trunk like that allows it to load off of the trunk. So we're going to be moving forward with that one and seeing if we can get a better score from there. Once again, tuned at my tuning frequency, or my testing frequency is going to be 37 hertz. Windows down in the kick. Well, one window down in the kick. So we're going to get this going. And just like that, 139. It looks like 139.2 is going to be my best bet at 37 hertz with this enclosure and in this environment. Once again, this is the American Bass XFL. I'm sorry, this is the Skar Audio VXF-12, and what we're going to be doing now is we're going to be moving on to it in the new enclosure. So in the new enclosure, I found out that my tuning frequency was actually 48 hertz. That's my peak frequency in the car. It's 48 hertz. Let's just see what we can get here now. All right, so we at 48 hertz. Now we're gonna roll the window down and see if we can get that 138 a little bit higher than that. Let's get it. There we go, we got a 139. So let me explain a little something to you guys that may be wondering about the different frequencies. This is the new box, okay? The new box, mind you, isn't, okay, this is a look at it right here. The new box, mind you, isn't built for SPL. This box is dual chambered internally, okay? If you guys don't know much about a 6-order bass reflex, go check out the previous video and I explain a lot more how this is constructed. This is an SQ build, not an SPL build. But I was curious when a lot of you guys inquired about metering it and seeing what it sounded like. I will be later on throwing this in a 4th order. I would be building a 4th order for this later on just for fun. But I'm an SQ guy, and that's kind of what I lean toward. This is dual chambered. It has a 30 hertz port internally and it has a 60 hertz port that you see externally, but these work in tandem together. So what do I mean by that? The 30 hertz port actually is tuned, the box is tuned internally 1 octave apart. So you have 30 hertz and you have 60 hertz. In between 30 and 60 is 30 hertz. If you cut that in half, you get your middle band, which is 45 hertz. So 15 from 30 going to 60, 15 from 30 is 45. It's 15, which equals 45. So your middle band is 45, both ports are activated, and that means that that's gonna be your loudest frequency because all the internal air of this enclosure is being used. All right, so to explain a little bit more to you guys who did not see the first video, the previous videos, this is what a 6-order bass reflex look like. Okay, you have 2 ports internally. You have the 30 hertz port here, which is 2.5 cubic foot. This is going to port into the 60 hertz chamber, which is actually 1 cubic foot, and this is where all your sound exits right here. Okay, so this is what this box that you're looking at on screen, this is what it is constructed like internally. So what does that mean for the sound and how it is routed, the different bands here? So you have 2 different bands. You have the 30 hertz and you have the 60 hertz, and they work independently of each other. When the when a tuning frequency of 30 hertz to about 40 hertz is passed along to this subwoofer, the driver that's going to be inside of here, this chamber right here picks up most of that and it ports out, it passed straight through the 60. The 60 doesn't catch any of that. But when it hits around 45 hertz, both these ports are going to be activated, okay? So in short, to simplify things, a 30 hertz frequency will only activate this port right here. It will breathe out through here. It won't even catch, this port here won't even catch a 30. But when it's only at 60 hertz, this chamber here would be doing all of the work. This chamber here won't catch a 60 hertz frequency, but it'll pass through here booming loud as it can, okay? But 45 would play through both of them. Both of them are activated at 45. That's your middle band. And that's why it peaks the loudest, because the 2.5 cubic foot of airspace over here and this 1 cubic foot of airspace over here, both are working in tandem with one another. So you have collectively 3.5 cubic foot working together. That's what you want. That's your optimized frequency, and that's why this box peaks at 40 something hertz, because of its middle band. Hope I didn't confuse anyone with that. I'm going to be now moving on with the video. This is going to be a display of this of what I did to kind of like improve my sound and my numbers. This is the same thing that I did with the other box, basically just turning it to the side and seeing if that would help me out a bit. And this is going to be the results of that. Right now what you're looking at is the second round of this. And as you guys can see, it did hit a 140.1. And that'll be all that I can get out of it from here. So the VFX from Skar Audio have a high score right now of 140.1. And that's pretty much how you do it. Next up is going to be the XFL by American Bass. Okay, so let me get you guys stats pulled up here. Once again, if you look to the right, you will see all the information that you would need from these two subwoofers. So this will be the American Bass XFL-12, and its stats are going to be a little something like that. So let's move on with its test. So right now, this is the old box. This is the dual ported box on the glass, and we're going to see what kind of numbers we can get out of it. So 135.5 at 37 hertz, a 135.5 at 37 hertz on the glass. So right now what I'm going to be doing is throwing it in the kick, and we're going to try to see what kind of numbers we can get out of it down here. Once again, this is the mini bass meter version 2 of this by SPL Labs. What I'm trying to do right now is get you guys focused here. It's a lot of glare coming off this little shiny screen. And that was a 137.1 from the old box, and that's in the kick. 137.1. So what we're going to be doing now, we're going to be moving on, and we're going to try to see if we can improve that. Once again, the old score was a 137.1 in the kick, and this is from the bass reflex box, the dual ported box. That was a 138.2 at 37 hertz, and this is the new box. This is the 6th order bass reflex, and we're gonna try to see what kind of numbers we can get out of it. $141.1. That's a 141.1 from the American. Couldn't quite get it again. That's from the American Bass XFL-12 in the kick, and that's in the 6th order bass reflex box. And what I wanted to do here is just to, just for quality
just 100
purposes.
with y'all. I want y'all to see that was the AB. That's the AB doing that. Y'all know I usually don't even show this much mess, but there you go, strap. And I ain't even giving it full power. The AB just outdid the VXF by Skar Audio. It's over, I think this thing is $100 cheaper than the VXF. It just smashed about 1 dB. Let's try it again.
And there you go. That's just me and my excitement. I had to say that. And this is the most important part. But I'm gonna skip this video and let you guys see something else that was really intriguing. Keep in mind, I didn't even have the window turned down on that video recording, but in the next one, this one here, I did. I went and I remembered, I said, I wish it was a continuous run, but I went ahead and I turned the window down, or I let the window down, because this seems to be my best metering scores. When I, in the kick, one window down. And I'm gonna get this going once again for you guys. And there it is.
There it is. 141.5. AB for the win, baby.
So I want to know what exactly do you guys think of that? Okay, now I know some people are gonna have some inquiries about what they just seen. Now, just from the experience that I've had since I've been doing these type of videos, I want to reflect back to some of the guys that's been viewing this for a while. Remember when I first had the American-based XFL on the channel? There were so many people that was rooting for it, but when it was going up against the Skar Audio EVL-12. But the thing about the EVL-12 is that it was so much softer, the suspension was, out of the box, that it was a better performer on camera. Can this be the same thing that is happening to the Skar Audio VXF right now? Is the stiff suspension the reason why it's losing right now? Does it need more of a break-in period, as did the XFL when I first bought it? If you guys don't know what I'm talking about right now, go in my channel right now. For all the new guys, look at the first few videos that I did of the XFL-12 with basically not the same setup, but this thing was stiff as a brick. And some people kind of blamed me like, oh, my XFL move way more air than what yours is. But I didn't want to burn the thing up clipping it. It just took some time to break in. Now, I'm not trying to make excuses. The XFL kicked butt, okay? It put up the numbers at $100 cheaper in this video. So, in my opinion, it did a damn good job. But I want to know, I don't want to judge too harshly on the VXF, because, at first I was disappointed. But then I thought about it. Does this need more of a break-in period? Because we're looking at the XFL after 3 months of play. It's very loose, and man, it sounds good. But anyway, that's my 2 cents on this. I want to know what you guys think in the comment sections below. These were the numbers. Who expected this and who did not expect this? I don't know. The polls reflect that a lot of y'all thought that this was going to happen despite the price differences. But anyway, for all the new guys, if you like DIY builds, comparisons, and competitions, please consider clicking that subscribe button so you don't miss a thing.